Hey everybody, Jack here. Before we actually get into the video this week, I just wanted to set some context. So, the seniors at my school ended last Thursday. Everybody else ended today. And we actually had to show up today to do like a run through of graduation. And as one might expect, at our graduation ceremony, we will have a student speaker. Actually, we're going to have 2 student speakers. I never sent a speech in because I didn't think I was the right person to actually represent people and like give a correct speech. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, ah, darn, I really should have done that. So I went and wrote a grad speech because I need to write because I'm a journalism major. So with that said, here's my graduation speech for the class of 2019. I'm not really sure how a commencement speech should start, so for the sake of the parents, I suppose I should introduce myself. Hi, my name is Jack Izzo. I was on Jeopardy! I did a couple of other things, like swim during my 4 years in prison, but Jeopardy! Is the pinnacle. I think I'm probably uniquely qualified as a Jeopardy! Contestant to talk about knowledge and how to learn, or something like that, but that kind of goes against the point of a graduation speech as I understand it, which is it's an attempt at issuing advice for the future and reflecting upon the past. Why they ask 18-year-olds to dispense wisdom upon their classmates is beyond me, but if it's what has to happen, it's what has to happen. But does it have to happen? So I considered writing this speech about a lot of things. I considered Jeopardy!, my extensive experience with Rubik's Cube competitions, swimming. I had a pretty significant draft about music, the list goes on. But eventually, actually quite recently, I remembered something that I had done earlier this year, and I knew immediately exactly what this speech was going to be about. So back in November, it's been a while, form went out for seniors to submit their senior yearbook quotes. And I probably cared way too much about it, but then again, I have some sort of unhealthy obsession with like famous quotes. So after mulling over it for way too long and narrowing it down to about 3 or 4 potential quotes, I eventually chose the last words of a musical icon. It's not Kurt Cobain's "It's better to burn out than to fade away" or Elvis's significantly less poetic "I'm going to the bathroom to read," but the words of legendary composer Ludwig van Beethoven. Friends applaud, the comedy is over. Let's be honest, high school is a messy time. Between the never-ending cycle of drama, copious amounts of homework, and constant sleep deprivation, a comedy is one of the truest descriptions of the experience, especially when you're looking back upon it. So, that was mine. As I said, I really enjoy knowing famous quotes, especially last words, which is kind of creepy if you think about it. Yeah, that probably says something about me, but I'm going to choose to ignore it and instead focus on some of the poignancy of some famous last words. And as some of you might be catching on to now, I'm going to use other people's words to teach life lessons I cannot. So one of the other quotes I considered was the final remark of famous Mexican outlaw Pancho Villa, who was, well, let's just say less composed. With his, "Don't let it end like this, tell them I said something." What lesson are you supposed to take from that? Well, be prepared. Also, that your last words probably will not be what you want them to be. As for some other lessons from last words, Ben Franklin's "dying man can do nothing easy" kind of speaks for itself, but it also suggests that you taking care of people is an act of love and not an act of necessity. Along the same lines, William Seward, who convinced Russia to sell Alaska to the United States, was asked for last remarks, and he replied, "Nothing, only love one another." Voltaire, upon being asked to repudiate the devil, quipped, "This doesn't seem like a good time to be making enemies." No, it isn't. Enemies, as it turns out, are better forged when you still have the energy to fight them, and anyone who's played a video game knows that facing enemies means you're going the right way. Oscar Wilde died in a hotel room and joked, "Either that wallpaper goes or I do. It's probably better to change the wallpaper, settle the petty arguments, but fight for what you believe in." Hotel mogul Conrad Hilton left the world with "Leave the shower curtain on the inside of the tub," which leaves nothing to interpretation and is the most practical advice you're going to get out of this. Economist John Maynard Keynes' "I wish I drank more champagne," which, while less practical, is still important, reminding us to live life to the fullest. And finally, for the teachers, I have President Warren Harding. That's nice, go on, read some more. I feel I must close with the words of a Jeopardy! Champion. Not last words, but important ones nonetheless. After his 33rd consecutive game of Jeopardy ended and James Holzhauer had finally been defeated, he had a simple message for his fans. A message that quite nicely sums up the points I've been trying to make today. And if I can leave you with one thing, let this be it. Because we made it through, and I know you were capable of remembering this. The words? To everyone, thanks for the support, and remember to be good humans. Thank you. So that was the speech. I hope you enjoyed it. As for all of the new people, each week, I think this is probably about week 20 or so, each week since January 1st, I've been making a new video and uploading it to this YouTube channel. They're about whatever stuff that's going on in my life. Sometimes they're video essay-ish style. I should have a really cool one coming out in maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, so if you're interested, I highly recommend clicking subscribe so you'll be notified when I upload another video. Like and share around. I mean, this video especially, I feel like good messages should be shared. With that being said, school's done. It's summer, and I will see you next week.